Hi guys, so I think this is my fourth, maybe fifth video in this new series. I'm shooting all of these videos back to back, so my throat is getting really tired now. I've also made these videos a lot longer than I had originally intended, but so this game is, user is sent me a message. He said, he asked me if I could do one of his games. He says he's a terrible player. Well, it's all relative, right? You're like a god compared to like people rated 600. Okay, so this is elmetal. He doesn't have very many games here for me to go over. He's done a lot of tactics training. He's 1100. Only 11 games provisionally rated on Rapid. So I would really recommend, keep going on those tactics training. That's good. But you might want to play some more games as well. And I would recommend that you play classical. The longer time control, the better. So maybe 15-15. But I'll take a look at one of your Rapid games since that's all you have here. So let's see this game from 12 hours ago. How many moves? 18 moves, too short. Let's look for a longer one. 29 moves. Yeah, let's do this game here. Okay, let's take a look here. Looks like there was a computer analysis done. That's good. And okay, so our hero here was white, playing a 1265 opponent. So he's the English. I cannot comment too much on this. I'm not that familiar with English opening. I think you're doing fine so far. Doing very well. Not so sure about G3 here. So you are preparing a fianchetto. I don't think it's the worst move, but I think it's a little misguided. First of all, the enemy king is over here. So I think generally fianchettos are more powerful if for some reason if this was all switched, if this was mirrored, if your position was mirrored like horizontally and this was over here, then the fianchetto would make more sense because your bishop, it would be, focused on the enemy king side here. But over fianchettoing from this side, it's not really as useful, right? It's black's king side. Probably won't castle that way, and it's just not quite as useful. I don't think it's the worst move, but I probably would not fianchetto here. I'd probably just move the bishop to like D3 or even E2. Just when you fianchetto, kind of look where the bishop is pointing, right? It's usually more useful to point it at the king side, or else it depends. Like it depends on the position, but I think it's a lot better to go to bishop D3. You can kind of, at this diagonal, you're pointing towards the king side. You can always move your queen, follow it with queen C2. So you have a battery, and then you can castle right away. It's also one move quicker to castle. So if you go bishop D3, castle, 2 moves. If you fianchetto, it's going to be 3 moves. So G3, bishop, G2, and then castle. That's another way to look at it. So for all those reasons, I'm not a huge fan of G3 here, but it's not a big problem. It's not a huge mistake or anything. Okay, so you push here. I think I would have just taken. I mean, you have double pawns. Black is giving you a free opportunity to fix your pawns. So getting rid of your double pawn, you should take that opportunity. You're also taking away black's center pawn. That's a valuable pawn to get rid of. Yeah, he'll be able to develop a piece, but this is a much better exchange for you. You're getting rid of a double pawn, and you're taking away black's center pawn. So I would definitely take here. Okay. Yeah, well, when people start a fianchetto, I always like to see it finished, to see it to its completion, because otherwise it's just a wasted move. So I think bishop G2 is okay here. I think taking is another option. Again, getting rid of your double pawns could be another option. But no, I have no problems with your fianchetto here. Knight e5. It looks okay. Again, I may consider getting rid of this pawn here, but I think this is okay. Yeah, actually, I don't really like taking here. His we can almost bring in the queen. It doesn't quite work because he's got a knight here. But if we take care of that knight first with bishop g5, pinning it, then we may be able to follow with queen h5. So you might want to consider something like this. I don't blame you for taking a pawn when it's handed to you, though. Okay, so you go bishop g5 here now. It's a little late because it's not a pin anymore. I'm just looking at a fork. I'm looking at some tactics here. So if you take the knight, black is limited in how he can take. So if he takes with the queen, you've got a fork here. So black cannot take with the queen. If black takes with the pawn, well, he takes, he exposes his king and he gets double pawns. So it looks like black is limited to taking with the rook. And then this pawn is hanging. You could take with here, or you could take with the queen. I think I like taking with the bishop though. Oh man, recorded too many videos. So that's a tactic. You kind of remove a defender there. So once he played knight c6, he removed the defender from this pawn. So whenever your opponent makes a move, it's good to see how that move affected his position. So at this position that black was in, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces defending this pawn on d5. Once he moved, he's blocking the bishop and he moved the knight. So now he actually only has 2 pieces defending it, and you have 2 pieces attacking it. So if you take away one of the defenders, you can take this pawn. But actually what led me to this position was I was looking at a knight being here. I was looking at if you take and he takes here, you could fork. And then black doesn't want to take this way. And if black takes with the rook, well, you've taken away that defender, and now you can take this pawn. At first glance, I like taking it with the bishop, although I'm taking a look at what Stockfish says here. Stockfish actually prefers taking it with a queen, much prefers it. I guess because you're attacking this piece 3 times then. Attacking his knight 3 times. I guess you could always do it because it is a check. I guess the idea is here, if you take with a queen, it is a check. You can trade queens, and then you can take this bishop or this knight, depending on how black responds. So this would be completely winning if you had taken the knight here. I mean, this knight on f6 is what I mean. Yeah, so that's just a move order thing. So you took one move too late, and it doesn't work now. Okay, so you're trying for tricks here. I would classify this move as a hope chess move, in that it only works if your opponent falls for your little trap. So if your idea here being that, okay, ooh, free pawn, and then you take his bishop, right? That's your trap. But this is a hope chess move, because c4, if black doesn't take your pawn, is this still a good move? Well, you probably could have had better moves that you could have played, because otherwise this is always under attack now, and you could have probably developed something instead. The funny thing is Stockfish is actually recommending black to take. I guess it's actually defended. I don't even see that at first. I didn't even see that. So it's actually a free pawn. The joke's at your expense because yeah, it's simply defended here. I didn't even see that at first glance myself. I was too busy talking, I guess. So I don't really understand c4 then. If that was your intention, maybe you missed it too, that it was simply defended. So black doesn't take it. So it looks like all three of us missed that. I don't like this. I don't really understand rook after e1. It's a simple fork. It wins both rooks. I don't like, yeah. You spent 20 seconds on this move too. I guess, I mean, mistakes happen. So not much to comment on this, but kind of desperation here. Yeah. I guess he has to take, and then, yeah, it's just game over here. Okay, so a quick recap of this game. First of all, I would recommend playing classical over rapid. Secondly, I think your opening, I think you did okay here. I think white was fine. This fianchetto, I wasn't a big fan of. It's not a big mistake. I just think it wasn't optimal and something you might want to consider in the future. The fianchetto, it takes you one move longer to castle, and your bishop isn't really pointing at anything effective. So I probably would have went to this diagonal instead. It's quicker to castle and a little bit more dangerous for black. I didn't like your c5 move. I thought you could have fixed your double pawn issue by simply taking. No, I don't really have much comments on knight e5. Oh yeah, and then here, once black moved knight c6, taking the knight here would have been a good opportunity. So the way to catch this in the future, when black makes a move, you just like, how did that change the position? Well, it changed because the knight is not defending this pawn anymore, and it's also blocking this bishop. So this is only defended twice. If we remove one of the defenders, then we can win a pawn. So taking the bishop here would have removed the defender, and then you can win a free pawn there. I thought c4 here was kind of a hope chess move, hoping he'll take it and that you could win the bishop, although that doesn't even work because there's already rook defending it. So it's just losing a pawn for nothing. And then just this huge blunder here, d2 was the nail in the coffin here. Although actually the position here is not so bad for white. Black is a little bit better because of the advanced pawn, but this just was game over. You just can't allow yourself to make those mistakes, unfortunately. Yeah, because you're just going to lose a rook here no matter what. So hopefully those things can help you. There's a few things there that you can look over. Thanks for watching, guys. That's going to be it for my recordings today. My throat is starting to go. If anyone is interested in private lessons, you can always send me a message. Otherwise, have a good night.